So it's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hello, Aston. Whoa, what's going on there? There we go. That's a bit better. Hello, Aston Villa fans, and welcome to For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast. I'm sorry I'm late. I was putting up my absolutely huge Christmas tree here, as you guys can see. I need to get some more decorations for it, but I think that hopefully that I'll be putting up this tree, or I'll be able to put some lights in this tree, and I might put a little Lunai figure on the very top, or whoever scores today, if anybody does score today, they're going to be my angel on top of the tree. And that's very much what I'm hoping to see today, is a coherent performance from Aston Villa, a performance that will bring us goals, a performance that maybe entails having two strikers up top. I don't know. I think, look, everybody knows my feelings in Ollie Watkins and the John Duran situation. I really don't care as long as we've got a striker that's playing. I'm a big Ollie Watkins fan. I don't think he deserves the criticism that he's getting. But then again, everybody's entitled to whatever opinion they have. And the team sheet, I'm sure, is going to be announced very, very soon. And we'll see what the situation is with that as well. In fact, I think the team sheet is probably out already. No, not yet. It's on its way. And I think, look, that's going to be a lot of what's going to frame this. Also, I think we might see changes in the back four as well. And to be honest with you, we could see changes all over the shop. But the big thing here is a win today is big. A win today is big because it would be against a team that is in and around us where we are at the moment, creates distance between a team who, let's be honest, I don't think anyone really be expected to be this high so far. And we are, or they are this high so far, and we've had 2 wins on the trot, 3 if you include Europe as well. And it's something that, you know, building upon that would be absolutely sensational. It would be great for us to do. My Twitter app is going nuts, but we do have a team out, and I have it here, so I'm just going to share it up with everybody. It's Martinez, Konza, Diego Carlos, and Mings, with Digne left back, it's Konza, Diego Carlos, Mings, Digne, Cash, Kamara, Tielemans, McGinn, Rodgers, and Duran. I think it's fair to say that when we spoke about this the last time, when we saw this against Leipzig during the week, that everybody was saying that it was going to be Cash playing as a right winger. I think it's fair to say that there was no doubt about it. It was 3 at the back. It looks like we're going 3 at the back again today, with the 2 lads on the wings as wing backs, with Kamara, Tielemans, and McGinn in the centre, and Rodgers playing off Duran. I like it. What's not to like? I'm here and I'm shouting and looking for 3 at the back for the last God knows how long, and we're getting it's like London buses. You get two in 2 weeks. So I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that. I knew there was going to be a few changes at the back. I know people will probably look at this and maybe question, why isn't Torres in there? Could be managing minutes. Also, do we really need, if we're going 3 at the back, do we really need to have somebody who can step forward out of that back line with 3 at the back? I don't know. It's all new on how Una wants to play this, and it will be new again today in how we're going to see this, I would say. The subs are Robin Olsen, Nedeljkovic, Torres, Bogart, Maatsen, Barkley, Buendia, Onana, and Watkins. No Philogene on the bench. I'm trying to see who else. No Bailey, we didn't expect. Well, they were talking he may be fit for this one, but no Bailey on the bench. So I suppose in wide positions, we are a bit stretched, but then again, we aren't, if we think of having fullbacks in those wide fullback positions, in those wing back positions. Nedeljkovic came on during the week. Maatsen is made for that wing back role. So this actually suits the players we have available to us at the moment. And since we weren't getting any wing play, I've said this all before, you know, you guys are all probably way too familiar with me saying that. So I really like that. I'm happy with that lineup. Torres is probably the shock that isn't in there, that he's not in there. But we're going to stumble on stuff like this throughout the course of the year. Torres has been sensational for us last year. He's been sensational for us in parts of the year this year when he's playing out from the back. But we're blessed to have this rotational ability. We're blessed to have the players that we have within the squad. fitness is brilliant at the moment, or fitness is a key thing, should I say, to Aston Villa's success. Having these options, tinkering with the team, changing things isn't always a negative. Well, it is when we don't win. You're always going to get criticized for that, but it isn't always a negative when we're trying to keep people fresh and fit, specifically when we're in the midst of what was a 7 in 21 day schedule, which I don't even know whereabouts we are within that schedule at the moment, I'll be honest. So yeah, look, the rotationary part of players coming in and out is part and parcel of modern football, and we're just lucky that we have somebody like a leader like Tyrone Mings that can come in there, and we have probably one of the best young strikers in world football in John Duran. If not the best young striker, definitely one of the most talked about young strikers in world football. Anyway, in the form of John Duran, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him today lead the line against what is a damn good Forest team. He's going to be able to lead that line against Forest. Came off the bench, obviously scored a goal. Had a goal disallowed against Leipzig, so he's going to be cock of the walk, and hopefully he gets this done from a starting position today. And again, Watkins coming off the bench. There are teams around Europe that would love to have that ability to be able to bring what would have been their main striker come the start of the season off, and somebody who is rattling, still has a pretty decent goal scoring record. What is it? A 7 in 15, I think, for in the league so far. Brilliant record to have. I also expect to see Amadou Onana come off the bench at some stage as well. Another £50 million player on the bench. This Aston Villa team is exciting. It's definitely the best Aston Villa squad I've seen in my lifetime. Well, probably I'll pump the brakes on that one. It's definitely the best Aston Villa squad I've seen in the last 25 years, and we should cherish it, and we should use it, and it should be utilised. And I'm excited to see how it's going to be utilised today as well. I forgot to invite Paddy, lads. He's away. He's out in the terror, I think. So I am just going to send him on the link because I completely forgot to there we go. He got the link there now, so he might be able to join us because he's out and about. So he'll be joining us from location, most likely a pub, I would imagine. Is where he's probably going to be. So he's going to join us in a moment. In the meantime, I am going to endeavour to get the Nottingham Forest team. Someone else I want to have a chat about, I suppose, in that setup as well. Look, Matty Cash, that setup really suits him. I'm really looking forward to seeing how he plays today as well. Been very Marmite for a lot of fans over the course of the last probably 18 months. Had an absolute banger of a game against Leipzig on that right wing, and yeah, let's see what he can do as we get used to this. Sorry, can't spell and talk. I had my Christmas party last night, so my head is a bit ropey today. So multitasking is a luxury at the moment. But yes, he had a really good game against Leipzig, and yeah, really enthused to see him drive on in that position again. Now, the Nottingham Forest team was also out. Sells, Morello, Williams, Anderson, Gibbs-White, Wood, Hudson-Odoi, Dominguez, Yates, Milenkovic, and Aina. There with a bench of Miguel, Morato, Awanini, Toffolo, Ward-Prowse. I forgot James Ward-Prowse. I actually didn't know James Ward-Prowse had signed for the Nottingham Forest. Oh, there you go. That'll tell you where my head's been the last couple of months. Jota, Elanga, Sosa, and Willy Bolly. Another, like, they have a fine squad there, but it looks like it's going to be four at the back. Murillo and Milenkovic probably two holding down the central positions with Aina and Williams either side. Elliot Anderson, Gibbs-White, and Dominguez probably, and Yates probably making up a midfield, but Dominguez and Gibbs-White and Hudson-Odoi, and then Chris Wood up top. We know that Chris Wood is on a great scoring form, so maybe that's one of the reasons why Mings has been brought in here, so he can wrestle with him and deal with him from a physical point of view, because Chris Wood has got the better of a lot of good defenders this year, and he's very, very strong player, strong physically player, very good in the air, countering that with the likes of Tyrone Mings, to me, is a smart choice, I think. So let me get some of your comments here as well, guys. Sorry. So where are we? So Michael Huggins is looking for Durant to score 2 goals today. I'd absolutely love it today. And Phil Little is saying that he wants Cash to score today. Yeah, exactly. Richard Parks, I meant to say that as well. It is Durant's birthday, or was his birthday yesterday, or was it today? He's 21, so hopefully he has a great birthday and he scores goals and gives us a present on his birthday. I think that would be nice. Jimmy Danger says that he'd take a point. I think we'd all take a point in this game today, but a win today would be absolutely huge. It puts distance between us and some of the teams there as well. Where else are we? Phil Little says he'd rather have Powell than Carlos, otherwise looks good. Roger's been blown a bit, maybe Buendia for second half. Yeah, I'm not too worried about. So Carlos for me is big. The biggest issue I had with Carlos is in the back four. I actually always thought he'd be better in a back three. Once again, small sample size what we've seen so far, but I actually don't have concerns with him being in this back three. Obviously, you bring Pau Torres in there as well. I think Pau Torres is a better player than Diego Carlos for me. I don't think we'd have many arguments from that point of view, but Carlos is in there again today to do a job probably on Chris Wood. He's a lot, while he's not brilliant in the air, he's better in the air than Pau Torres. And I think Pau Torres is not in the team today because of that aerial threat that Forest have, specifically at corners. You know, we saw Milinkovic score recently against Man United, and Chris Wood, obviously, as I said before, is in there, and he is extremely dangerous. Where else are we? So Darren says delusions of grandeur with some Forest content creators at the minute. Need to shut them up today. I haven't watched an awful lot. I do converse quite a lot with some Forest fans. I'm a big fan of Nottingham Forest as a club. I'm a fan of them. Like, I've always wanted them to get back in the Premier League and to do well. Just a proper historic club. And I'm doing a bit with one of the guys after the show, after the match as well, should I say? But I haven't watched much of the stuff, so I don't know. Bootleg Remix says Ollie's numbers show you because he scores a hat-trick once a year, which gives him 6 games without a goal for his 1 and 2 average. And to be honest with you, it's all about how many goals you score at the end of the year. For me, like, that's all anyone will ever remember. No one's going to remember the fact that that he didn't score. He went on a 4 or 5 game non-scoring streak, because to be honest with you, outside the likes of Salah, Harry Kane, and all those, every single striker in the league goes on those barren runs. People will only ever remember the amount of goals beside your name when you retire, and Ollie Watkins has quite a lot of those goals, and so we can dissect and we can talk about the nuances of that all we want, but you have to score. Like, whether you score a hat trick and then you don't score 4 games, you've still scored a hat trick. You've still scored 3 goals. I would probably go more on the opposition that he scored them against. Will probably be a better indicator of that for me. But you're true. What you said, everything you said there is true. I'm not debating it or anything like that. I'm just saying that, we can talk about all that now, but when Ollie Watkins retires, and hopefully he retires as Aston Villa's record goal scorer, I think it's probably given at this stage, probably happens this year. I think that I think that that would be a fitting. He'd be a fitting striker to have as our record Premier League goal scorer. I think, because I think he's quite a good striker indeed. Somebody's after joining there. My dog is barking. I'm hungover and I'm a bit narky, and my dog will not stop barking outside my door. And give me 2 seconds before I do this, because I'm gonna. I apologize for that. It was either me have an absolute meltdown on the podcast or let the dog back in. So I had to let the dog back in. And speaking of letting the dogs back in, here's Paddy from the dog house himself. Where are you, Paddy?
I'm in the pub.
Go figure.
What's the crack? The dog is missing me. He came in to say hello. Isn't that what it is?
The dog, yeah, he was just outside and he wouldn't stop barking looking to be let in because there was light drizzle outside. My dog doesn't like to get wet because he's a completely, utterly pampered little York. But anyway, I know you guys, so Cash is saying here, we couldn't hear him. I couldn't hear, you guys couldn't hear him, but it was going through my brain.
I could hear him. I could hear him.
How
That's
could you
the
hear
first
him?
time I ever heard him. I was in the green room there and I could hear him.
Could you hear him? All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, Paddy, what you make of the team?
Oh, sure. Look, he's gone 3 at the back, so we're not as predictable as all those managers are telling us we are. So, he's gone to counteract the pace on the wings. I haven't seen the Forest team, but yeah, happy days. Look at that specimen. That specimen of a man brought in to look after Chris Wood today.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I think there's no secret he's been brought in to look after Chris Wood. When you like, his thing is get his head on it and be strong, and Pau Torres' thing isn't that. And that's not a slight on Pau Torres. But it's great to have the horses for courses ability to be able to play those players, you know, and to be able to play different strokes for different folks there as well. And I suppose you could say the same about Duran up top, you know, Murillo and Milinkovic. Hopefully Duran occupies those, but he will occupy those two guys. And if they start trying, especially Murillo, if he starts trying to pass it around from the back and Duran robs him like he did recently as well, and pings one in the back of the net, well then we'll all be absolutely delighted from that point of view too. And I think that's probably why he is in there. You know, he's a bit more of a physical strength, and you know, if he robs that ball high up, he's just going to take a swing at it, as opposed to Ollie Watkins, who wouldn't.
Yeah. Is there any bolters in the Forest team or any?
Sorry, I actually thought I was sharing the Forest team there and not the Villa team. Let me go back there. There's no real bolters for the Forest team. It's where are we? I'll bring it up here. Yeah, there was no one that really jumped off the page to me. So you've got Sells and goals. You're going to have Murillo and Milinkovic, probably the two centre halves. Aina and Williams would be the two fullbacks, and then you'd have a midfield makeup of Anderson, Gibbs-White, Hudson-Odoi, Dominguez, Yates, and then Wood up top. So there's no one there that's a particular surprise to me.
No, and to anybody probably. Look, they're a decent side. They're going to cause us trouble. They have had a brilliant start to the season. They're probably way ahead of where people would expect them to be. And look, this is not going to be easy. It's going to be a difficult proposition. And we've struggled there over the last couple of years. So hopefully we can put that to bed today. Hopefully we can continue this make it 4 games on the spin with wins and head into this Christmas period on a positive. I was worried about the wide play. I'm not so worried after seeing the Villa team. I think we're more than capable of going and getting a victory here today, and I'm really, really positive about it.
I get excited before Villa games, but for whatever reason, and as I say, I think it's probably the chemical imbalance that's going through me after all the beer I drank last night today, but I'm giddy for this game today. It's one of those, like, I haven't been giddy for a Villa game probably all season, but I'm giddy. Well, I have obviously the Munich game and the and some of the European games, but I'm giddy for this one today. Now, hopefully Villa don't fall flat in their arse, like, you know, and have a result like, you know, maybe I suppose a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. Remember when we played Leicester and it just didn't go our way, and we were like, did we lose 3-1 or something that day? And we were on an awful run at the time. But so I want Villa to go out and have a good performance in this game. If we win 1-0, we win 1-0. If we win 5-0, we win 5-0. I just don't care as long as we get a win in this one today. And I'm confident we will get a win in this one today. I am, because I like the team that we've out. And that's no disrespect to Nottingham Forest, because they're playing absolutely brilliant stuff this year. But we have to be confident with the team that we have out at the moment, because it's a pretty good team.
Yeah, and look, Watkins isn't on the bench, or he's not?
He is.
He is.
No, he's there. Yeah. I'll go back to the Villa team there.
So to use the words of Unai Emery, it's only a small injury, so he's more than capable of coming on and changing it if needs be, or we play the two of them up top. But you've got to be positive after midweek to see how we played and how we stretched Leipzig out wide. Got to be better in defence, but let's see how that goes and how it plays out today.
Yeah, like it's I'm not worried about the defense today, which is something that you can't really say all year. And the reason being is because when we're without the ball, we will be 5 or 6 at the back. You know,
Yeah.
Kamara will slot in there. Kamara, like we saw it last week as well. Kamara slotting in beside Diego, or midweek, so I say. Kamara slotting in beside Diego Carlos. Kanza was going right and Mings was going left while the lads were filtering back as well. So like there seems to be a lot more organisation there, a lot more ability to organise and move on the fly there, and I appreciate that is in the back line. But yeah, as I said, early goals are going to be the key here. An early goal here, and I think
Yeah.
Villa win this. I think they'll win it,
I think so too.
and it's not in question.
I'm gonna drop off in a couple of minutes, and I'm gonna introduce everybody to the Munster Lions Christmas party shortly.
Oh, that's what you're there for. I forgot that's what you were doing. Yeah.
And we've got guys up from Cork and guys up from Tipperary here today. But there's a guy who listens to the podcast there, really lovely guy, asked me, is there anything else you would do here today to change that team up? When we saw there was 3 at the back. And I said, I would replace Carlos with Pau Torres. That's the only thing I would have done to the team today. And I think that might have made a difference in our forward play, and just to have not have Diego Carlos and have Pau Torres might have been the only change, and put Mings in the middle. That would be what I've done. But look, you've got to be happy with what we have at our disposal. They're absolutely flying after midweek, and you have to think we're going to get a win today. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. I still don't think with Carlos in the team we have a clean sheet, and I don't mean to be negative by saying that, but that would have been the only change that I made today.
Yeah, I can understand why he's in there. It gives you 2 people who are a bit stronger against more physical players.
And
that's the reason I think he's there.
That's what the other guy said. The other guy said the same thing to me. He said he's there for physicality. Chris Wood is a concern. He's having the season of his life.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And the goal he scored against United, was it? I think it was. Trying to remember. I think, the goal he scored against United, he peeled off one of their centre halves and ended up on one of their fullbacks. So, like, I have no problem with Kanza going up in the air with him. I've no problem with Carlos going up in the air with him. I've no problem with Mings going up in the air with him. I've no problem with Kamara going up in the air with him. And I think that's like, we could find ourselves in a situation where you've got a rotating, instead of having a man marking job with Mings, which I wouldn't be comfortable doing because he's coming back from injury as well. I know he's back from injury, but you know what I mean? There's still a ring rust there that you would imagine will still be in his game. Instead of having a man marking job there, and then maybe if he makes a mistake, it's a glaring mistake. You've got 3 people there now that can go out. I wouldn't feel too comfortable with Pau Torres going up in the air with him yet at the moment. Enough. I don't know, will we ever have Pau Torres comfortable in the air in the Premier League? But there's horses for courses, as I say here, and I think that's really what this back 3 is today, and I'm loving it. Yeah, bring it on. See where we go with this one.
Neil, take the beautiful Tyrone Mings off the screen there, and I'm going to introduce you to the Munster Lions before I jump on.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
I don't know, did he turn off his mic? I hope he did, because if we've lost sound, then it's not going to be much good, is it? Ian Blackwood is going with 2-0 to the belly is out already. It's going to make for an interesting afternoon.
We nearly got someone showing their arse there.
Exactly. Yeah. Excellent. Paddy, I'm going to leave you go. You go in, enjoy your afternoon with the lads, and sure, look, if I'll do the post match, but sure, if you want to jump on afterwards, I'll send you through a link. See how it is. How's that, man?
Up the Villa. Good luck.
Up the Villa. We'll see you. Good luck. Excellent. Yeah, it's great. Look, Paddy's gonna I forgot he was doing that. I didn't know where he was. He just told me he wouldn't be on the team sheet tantrum today, and sent him a link. So that's great. Great to see him there with all of Villa fans down in Limerick. I'm sure maybe he invited me, but I certainly don't remember it. But if you didn't invite me, Paddy, then you're off the Christmas card list. It's as simple as that. But yeah, I'm going to go through some of your comments here again as well, guys. Start popping in your scores, and we'll go down through the score list. And I'm going to leave you then get ready for this game later on. So where are we? Bertie says, no Villa red cards today, please. Forest will get very physical and we need to show some show some discipline. Yes, Ryan Yates in the middle of the field for Forest is niggly. He's somebody who gets cards himself. He's a tough tackler. And he's very much a player of industry, and so in the middle of midfield, he's somebody that will draw yellow cards from you, but somebody you can draw yellow cards from as well. And I think that's important to say as well. You know that while they are physical, they do draw some yellow cards too as well themselves. So that's not a bad shout actually. That there may be a red card in this game for one of the teams. Not a bad shout. Not a bad shout at all. Where else are we here? Where are we? Where are we now? Sorry. Scores. Yes, there we are. So I'm going to start off with the scores. Junior says 2-0 to Villa. Audrey is going for 2-1 to Villa. And John Duran is going for 2-1 to Villa. Nicole going for 3-1. Michael Richards going for 3-2. Greg O'Connor going for 3-0. Stephen is hoping we keep a clean sheet today. Paul Miller is going with 2-1. Mark Willis is going for 1-0 today. Declan Bagnall going with a 1-0 to Villa. Michael Huggins going 3-0. Flange says 3-1. Stephen Brown is going 2-0. Lorraine O'Donnell is going with 2-1. And Jerry Garrett, he says it's his son's birthday today. Happy birthday, young man. And he watches you all the time. His name is Isaac. Well, happy birthday to you, Isaac. Have a brilliant 11th birthday. And I hope Villa win 3-0 for you today. And Duran gets a goal. Tielemans gets a goal. Duran gets a goal. Rogers gets a goal. And Ollie Watkins comes off the bench and gets a goal because he's number 11. That's right, and you're 11 today, and I hope you have a brilliant day, Isaac. Be Happy says 2-1. Fulham says 2-1. Fulham says hungover. Forget that one ever happened. Osdrum is going 2-1 to Villa. Lucas saying 2-1 to Villa. David Dams is going 3-1. Cash is saying 2-2. Cat Cannon's going with 2-2. 2-1 says David Dwyer. Andy's going with 4-1. Tom Long is going with 4-2. John Tanzi is going with 3-1. And Martinez to save a penno. You get good odds on that. Bear in the Garden is going with 4-2. Paul S is going with 2-2. And speaking of odds there, I can't find the comment there, but I think Kerry was saying that he's going to put an absolute eye-watering amount of money on John Durant to have over 2.5 goals or shots today. I can't remember which one it was, but Carrie, if you're still listening, let me confirm that one for me. But always bet responsibly for sure. Ty Donald is going with 4-1 to Villa, and Matt Lang is going. The Forest will be levelled and tarmacked over. Okay, 3-1 to the Villa. I said I'm going to just go with a ridiculous 3-0 to Aston Villa. I never get these things right anyway. So that's going to be my production, or my prediction, should I say, for today. Before we go, I just want to let you guys know as well of something. Sorry there now. I'm just going to try and share something up on the screen here for you guys. So you guys will have known in the last couple of podcasts that we've done, we have, we've been just spreading the word about Division Retro. I'm just going to pop them up here on stage on the thing. So basically, the guys have, I bought these hoodies after them, and they're actually brilliant. Henson hoodies, all the official Henson gear. If you guys are looking for something for Christmas for somebody, you can use the code McGrath20 or Retro20, whichever. Be honest with you, I just want to help guys out and get a few sales before Christmas. You know, they're Villa fans, Samir and the guys there, and they do all the retro Henson stuff. It's officially licensed. It's the proper stuff. It's not stuff that's come over from wherever and is shaddily produced. This stuff is the proper stuff. So if you want to get that Division Retro, you'll find them. They're the only Division Retro out there. Give them a shout. I meant to say that at the very start of the podcast, just trying to help the lads out, at Christmas time. If anybody is looking for anything to get their significant other or their sons or their daughters or whoever that you may think of, may want something for Christmas, and you can use the code Retro20 or McGrath20, all lowercase, to get 20% off any of your orders. That's going to do it for me today. I do appreciate every single one of you guys watching and listening in. We had 600-700 people in here at one stage, so thank you so much for that. Late on a Saturday evening, a lot of people probably doing their shopping and stuff like that. A lot of things that people have to do, maybe Christmas markets and stuff. So taking the time to listen to myself and Paddy is really, really appreciated. And we will be back with a post-match reaction right on the final whistle as well. So hopefully you will join us for that as well. But go away and get yourself sorted in front of the TV for Aston Villa versus Nottingham Forest. And hopefully we get the result we want. Stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.